It's a week till the Europa League final where Tottenham Hotspur will face Manchester United out in Bilbao. It's a huge game for both clubs. Tottenham looking to end their trophy drought and Manchester United looking to get back into the Champions League. Both clubs have had awful seasons and see themselves rooted to the bottom of the table. If it wasn't for the three already relegated sides, Tottenham and Manchester United would have been in awful relegation battles. But today on the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, I'm going to be revealing the real reason why Tottenham are going to beat Manchester United, and it is quite eye-opening. But before we go any further, if you are new to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, then drop us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also let me know in the comments down below, what are your predictions for the final? Now, I know a lot of you are going to be saying, Sonny, that is a very bold thing to say, that you are so adamant that Tottenham are going to win the Europa League against Manchester United. But there's enough evidence in front of me to suggest this. My first bit of evidence, which is not really part of this video, is we've beaten Manchester United 3 times already this season. Once in the Carabao Cup, which was an entertaining fixture where we sort of dominated and let them back in it. We've beat them in the league twice, once really dominating in Old Trafford, and then the other at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium where United looked stronger, but we still were able to beat them. But it's not about that today. It's about the state of play going into this final. As I say, we're around a week away from that monumental final for both clubs. It means so much for both clubs. Tottenham, as I say, want to win a trophy. Manchester United have had an awful season as well and want to, get back in the Champions League and the finances that will help them to sign players this summer. But the main thing that I want to talk about, this real reason, is both managers heading into this one. It's pretty much chalk and cheese between Ange Postecoglou and Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim came in during the season and has not really improved Manchester United whatsoever. I think it's 6 wins in 26 or something like that. And they're against mainly relegated teams. Whereas Ange Postecoglou has been at Spurs all season. It's in his second season. Obviously that famous quote, in his second season. He wins things. But he's been kept on because of this competition and because, even though our league form's been dire and we went out of the other cups, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, in the Europa League, he's still technically delivering, and we've put on some good performances. And Levy is potentially going to sack him if we lose. We don't know what will happen if he wins. But both of these managers are approaching this final in 2 very different ways. One of them is being very positive. The other's being very negative. And I think that is what's going to be the difference in between one of these teams lifting that trophy. We know, you've just got to look at the most recent fixtures in the Premier League. Tottenham lost against Crystal Palace, but it was pretty much a B team. And, all the fans realised what the case was. And Ange, he delivered his usual post-match. Whereas Ruben Amorim has gone very much the opposite way. He's fielding a mixed team. They lost at home to West Ham. And some of the quotes he was saying were monumental. So what I've done is I've put together a selection of clips of both the managers over the last week or so and how they're basically preparing their teams ahead of this massive game. And then I'm going to react to them and sort of give my conclusions on what I think is going to happen ahead of this one. But before we go any further, nearly 80% of you watching this right now are not subscribed to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel. What are you doing? A week out from the Europa League final, we need to get all you Spurs fans on board. So, as I say, get down below, subscribe, hit that notification bell, help me get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and hopefully we'll have a trophy to celebrate as well. But yeah, enough about that. Let's get on with the video.
We had lack of pace. We have to do so much better, and for me the biggest concern is that feeling that is okay, and we cannot change our position so much, so it's okay, and that is the biggest problem in our club in this moment, because we are losing the feeling of we are a massive club and it is the end of the world to lose a game at home. We need to change something that is deeper than this, and if we are showing that in the end of this season that we are not playing Premier League and Champions League for us is the moon. So we need to know that, and so I'm not concerned about the final. They will be focused, and I don't know what is best, if he's playing Champions League or not. So let's think about Chelsea to improve a lot of things.
I've said it before that what you as a group, players and staff, have gone through this year. Oh, big dog. Come on, boys. Finish, Hey! Shush. Right. As I said, what you've gone through this year, let me tell you, I've been in this game a long time. I'm very experienced. I've experienced it all, but I'm so proud of how all of you have just stuck together. Yeah? Not one time have I felt like, you know, people are not believing or have lost what we have in here, and it's just outstanding. People will never realise what it's taken for you guys to be in this position, and you deserve all the credit for that. That's unbelievable what you've done. To come to this place, difficult place, win comfortably, but the whole time through, all the things we've had to deal with. You know, there's people who aren't with us today, yeah? Who are back home. Fraser's played a big part of it. Ben Sonny's played a big part of this. Mathys, Lucas, Radu, they've all played a big part. Everyone's contributed. And that's the main thing that's got us to this point. Yeah, we've had problems for sure, but we've stuck together. And you deserve it. Now we've got 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks to prepare. Every day is important. Yeah? Every day, every training session, every game we have between now and then is about getting ready for that big game. Well, you can change things. You saw what you did. 400 supporters here today. They'll never forget it. And there's thousands back home. You can make it something really special. I keep saying to you, this is the group of players that are going to do it. So we focus on that from now on, but you deserve all the credit. It's been outstanding. So from tomorrow, we focus, yeah? Tonight,
We are not winning games, and I understand the connection between me and Ange. We have the same problems. In my opinion, with all due respect, I'm in a bigger club with a bigger pressure, so I understand the connection. I'm a huge fan on Ange Postecoglou. Of course, I'm from a different culture. I'm Portuguese, and you know all the Portuguese coaches, they can adapt, and I adapt. The simple thing is that I use one system in the moment, because I believe if you work on that system, you can play in different system at the same time. So that is my idea. But we are not winning games, and I understand the connection between me and Ange. We have the same problems. In my opinion, with all due respect, I'm in a bigger club with a bigger pressure, so I understand the connection, and I think it's really important a coach to have to follow these principles.
Winning the Europa League, how far do you think that will go to changing the culture, changing the narrative?
it's a great opportunity, I think, because it probably destroys 50% of the narrative that exists around the club in terms of, you know, its stature at the moment, you know, is that this constant question, well, until you actually win something, everything else is irrelevant. It doesn't matter how nice your stadium is, the supporters, your training facilities. It doesn't matter if you've, you know, have been runners-up in the league or runners-up in it until you win something, you know. So once you do win, and this is a significant trophy, that's out of the equation. Then different questions come, and well, you have to kind of repeat that, but that's a different course you navigate. But all that sort of stuff around, you know, that you haven't won anything, I think disappears in, you know, one foul swoop.
It seems like I'm pushing all to the players. I'm the responsible, and I'm really. It's hard to find another word. I'm really embarrassed of, in 26 games, win 6, and something is wrong in the way we are playing football. And sometimes it's not about the way we play, tactically and technically. It's the way we face competition, and the way we suffer, and the way we get mad because we are losing, and the way we protect the goal. And these things we need to improve, and sometimes it's not just inside the pitch, it's outside the pitch. That feeling that I'm talking about, like to fight until the end, the way we face competition, it's not okay to lose, it's not okay to draw. It doesn't matter if we can change our position on the league in the league or not. That feeling is nothing about confidence. It's about the belief and the understanding that we are in Manchester United, and we don't want to be the worst in the league. And our position it's unacceptable. And for me, that is not lack of confidence, it's lack of something more profound. And I talked with the board and with everybody, even with the fans, in every moment. I have a clear feeling that I know what this team needs to be so much better. And that helped me to maintain that level of not go down so much and not so high in some moments.
How is supposed to feel a manager of Manchester United in that position, embarrassed, and it's hard to accept. And I think everybody has to think seriously about a lot of things here. So everybody is thinking about the final. The final is not the issue in this moment in our club. We have bigger things to think, and we have to change a lot of things in the end of the season.
For the last final in Europe, the Champions League final in 2019, the Spurs players were walking on hot coals and breaking arrows against their throat as part of the preparation. What are your plans?
We've got injuries, mate. We've got enough injuries. I'm putting them in cotton wool for the next 10 days. Anything seriously with the way things have gone with us this year, any extracurricular activities are going to be at a minimum. I don't know if you were watching training today. We had Reggie tackle Brennan, and they were on the same team. So, goes to show how we're going.
Well, we're on that sort of thing. Check up on Sonny and how you see this for him, and also with the sort of emotional factor that he's been here for a long time and not won anything.
Yeah, look, he's firstly from a physical standpoint, he's good. I think it was important he got some minutes yesterday. He needed them more for himself psychologically than anything else, and. He had a good session today. He was never going to do the whole session because he played yesterday, and he feels good. So, we've still got sort of 8 or 9 days to go, and a game on Friday where we can build him up. And great to have him available. Like you said, he's been a big catalyst this year and a big driver of. He understands probably better than most what a trophy would mean for this football club and for him personally, because he's had an unbelievable career here in which he's done just about everything, but the key bit, that silverware that every player craves for, he knows how important it is for the club, but also for how significant it will be for him personally. So, the fact that he's back and available is good.
When did you first get that feeling about things maybe not being right?
You have that feeling when you see things and you see the way we play. But again, it seems like I'm pushing all to the players. I'm the responsible, and I'm really. It's hard to find another word. I'm really embarrassed of, in 26 games, win 6, and something is wrong in the way we are playing football. And sometimes it's not about the way we play, tactically and technically. It's the way we face competition and the way we suffer and the way we get mad because we are losing and the way we protect the goal, and these things we need to improve.
So the main two that I want to talk about is, Ruben Amorim calls this season embarrassing. That was the main thing. He kept saying it's an embarrassing state of play, and has also hinted that, a bit of tongue-in-cheek this probably, but if their form doesn't improve going into next year, he might walk away from the job, which is very telling. Whereas on the other hand, Ange Postecoglou has been very positive. He wants to, emulate the likes of Bill Nicholson, who won the competition in 1984. He says, all the pictures on the wall were in black and white. He wants modern memories with Spurs. And the thing is, and those of you who are subscribed will know, I've changed my opinion on Ange Postecoglou over the last coming months. Since the Everton game, I've been pretty much Ange out and I've lost faith in him. But, from the videos we've seen, as I showed, the post-match dressing room speech, he's still got that instilling behaviour in this squad. And, from the media day, there was from recent media days ahead of this Europa League game, a lot of the players, you can still see that they've got a lot of faith in him. There's even been a clip of him chilling with Pedro Porro and Rodrigo Bentancur, which is quite sweet. So, even though I've criticised the man and criticised his methods, and, we don't know what's going to happen in the summer regarding his future either way, you can see that he's still trying to, really get every, last grain and fibre of these players being to win this competition, despite the injuries, despite the, position in the Premier League table. Whereas Ruben Amorim seems to just be dragging Manchester United through the dirt. And, don't get me wrong, the media will always do this. There's been discussions this week about open-top buses. Apparently, Manchester United are not going to put on an open-top bus. They're going to put on a barbecue, which was really weird to, see. And I think they actually debated this on TalkSport. Also, there was a tweet about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and apparently, all the teams going to European finals this year, whether it's PSG, Inter Milan, Tottenham, Real Betis and Chelsea, they're paying for staff to go out there. Manchester United aren't, and that's what will always happen. Manchester United will be in the news, whatever, positive, negative or neutral. Whereas other clubs like Tottenham, it depends if they're the flavour of the month. Manchester United are so big as an institution, they will always be criticised. Like, they will always be held to account, like a politician or something. So, it's really interesting. But I still don't think Ruben Amorim is going about this the right way. I still think he has got to be a bit more clever. I mean, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but certainly the way he's acting in the media is of, very confused. It's very confusing. And I played it in that section there. There's a clip where I think it was after the game against Bodo Glimt, Ange was asked about Manchester United and he just dismissed it. He doesn't care. Because, Ange said this competition is important, where Amorim's sort of not really too phased. You can see, that's what I keep saying. We want the trophy more than the Champions League and the financial gain. Well, Levy might. But Ruben Amorim, you can tell it doesn't matter. Because we've seen that with Manchester United. Manchester United have won, an FA Cup and a League Cup under Erik ten Hag the last 2 years, and it didn't matter. They're still in this turgid cycle. Whereas Tottenham, it's like a flip on its head. We were consistent, but we weren't winning stuff under Pochettino. But now we're actually quite bad, but we've got to a final. So, yeah, it's a very confusing situation. But we'll see what will happen in that Europa League final. As I say, I'll be out in Benidorm watching it on a stag do. So, wish me luck. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you have enjoyed, leave your like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And until next time, I'll see you guys pretty soon. Bye.